here's what the creationists do about the facts. First thing they'll do, they'll say it's just microevolution. Now, I teach evolution. All right? I never talk about macroevolution because, in fact, macroevolution are one and the same thing. Give enough time, you can turn anything into anything. Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right. It's proven. You have the fossil record. It shows all the steps. All right, so typically what the creationists do, they'll deny the existence of tens of thousands of transitional fossils. Go to a museum, look at the fossils yourself. They're there. First of all, fossils don't prove evolution. Okay? The fossil record is consistent with a story, a historical pattern. It's proven. You have the fossil record. It shows all the steps. Fossils don't prove evolution. And that's exactly what paleontologists work at.
The fact that it's losing its legs and turning into a whale is not really, that's still an example for evolution. Yeah, okay, go ahead. You can't go backwards. You can't go backwards? You can't go backwards because there's no backwards. There's go backwards for evolution. Right. Okay, there's no forward. There's no forward, there's no backward. Because everything stays the same. Change. You're a creationist, man. Everything stays the same. But now if you find many fossils in the dirt, the fact that you find millions of fossils in the dirt, that's proof of a flood. Now that's millions. That's millions.
We have a very good set of bones saved from fossil records showing that the whales evolved through a long period of time from animals that are on land to animals that are in the water. We have that evidence. And to say we don't have it or to say that we're lying is disingenuous to this audience.
I don't know if I can help if you can't get this, but no fossils count as evidence for evolution. Well, first place, it's not enough to tell what it is. Secondly, you don't know that that is the ancestor of anybody. You don't know that that animal had any kids that lived. It is absolutely impossible to use any fossils at all as evidence for evolution. And anybody that's telling you fossils are evidence for evolution, you talk about voodoo science, that is it, folks, okay? We know these bones produce something other than their kind. Even though no animal today can do this, these bones were able to do it. That's absolute voodoo science. That's a good word. I got to use that one from now on. I appreciate that, okay? And those bones don't have dates on them. They don't come with a little tag saying this one evolved into this one. All you do is put your preconceived evolutionary imagination idea on top of these fossils that are found.
Fossils don't mean anything as far as evolution is concerned. We don't need them. We got all the evidence we need to prove evolution without fossils. Forget fossils. They just aren't important. What's important is DNA. We have a very good set of bones saved from fossil records showing that the whales evolved through a long period of time from animals that are on land to animals that are in the water. Fossils don't mean anything as far as evolution is concerned. We don't need them. And to say that we're lying is disingenuous to this audience.
And evolution, regardless of what Dr. Hovind says, is very much a part of that tradition. We are constantly revising.
Tradition? You don't have to trust tradition. I mean, come on, there's different traditions all over the world. But we can trust science because science should be the same all over the world.
You start from very simple life, and eventually you get everything that we have around us, from elephants to alligators to chimpanzees and everything in between.
According to Chen, the fossils he's discovered turned Darwin's tree of life upside down.
Darwin's tree reverse concept very unexpectedly. Our research is convincing major phyla starting down below at beginning of Cambrian. Base is wide, gradually narrow, so this is almost turned on different way.
Hi, Dr. Hogan.
Hi, I forgot your name now. What is it?
My name is Michelle Markstein, and
Michelle.
I'm a postdoctoral fellow here in the Integrative Biology Department. I have a PhD in genetics.
Here's an interesting fact. If you take and look at what's inside that banana and those dogs, they're awfully similar.
Now, do you believe dogs are related to bananas?
Ultimately, yes.
Ultimately, yes. Okay. You're saying, as a postdoctoral
Fellow. There you go. But you don't need to say doctor in front of my name. I'm pretty secure about it. If God decided to use the mechanism of evolution to create human beings,
you look nervous.
To say that was the path to do it.
It's okay.
You know why I'm nervous? Because I don't have the rhetorical skills that you do.
No. I am winning this argument because I'm right.
No,
Does that prove common ancestor, or could that prove common designer?
That's where you're wrong. I think it does not prove conclusively. It supports the view of common ancestry.
Why doesn't it support the view of common designer?
Well, why would it support the view of a common designer?
Well, why do all motorcycles made by Suzuki, Honda, and everybody else have 2 wheels, and all cars have 4 wheels? It's a common design.
Machinery is a horrible example. This has nothing to do with living things. Explain to me what this has to do with a common designer, because I really don't get it.
I'm sure you don't get it, but I'm going to try to help you.
The similarity between a Honda Prelude and a Honda Accord are pretty striking.
Yes, they're from the same maker, Honda.
You got the point. You got the point.
I do get the point. I believe in Christ. I believe He created certain things, but
do you believe it's possible that Do you believe it's possible that humans and apes have similarities because they simply have a common designer? Is that a possibility? That they're not even related, they're just the same guy designed them all?
That can be a possibility, yes.
What evolution do we...
Earth, what will it be like in hell? Even in this life, the pain of fire is the greatest of all pains. But the difference between our fire and that of hell is such that, according to St. Vincent Ferrer, our fire is cold. Our fire is created for our use, but the fire of hell is created by God expressly to torment. So that unhappy wretch will be surrounded by fire like wood in a furnace. He will find an abyss of fire below, an abyss above, an abyss on every side. If he touches, sees, breathes, he breathes only fire. He will be in fire like a fish in water. This fire will not only surround the damned, but it will enter into his bowels to torment him. His body will become all fire, so that the bowels within him will burn. His heart will burn in his bosom, his brains in his head, his blood in his veins, even the marrow in his bones. Each reprobate will in himself become a furnace of fire. Some cannot bear to walk on a road burnt up by the sun, nor can they endure a spark that flies from a candle. And yet they fear not that fire which devours. The fire of hell devours the damned. It devours without ever destroying them. In hell there is no hope, neither true nor false. The unhappy wretch will always have written before his eyes his condemnation, to weep forever in that pit of torments. Hence the damned not only suffer what they suffer in each moment, but they suffer in each moment the pain of eternity, saying, "What I now suffer I shall have to suffer forever." The punishments of this life pass, but the punishments of the other life never pass.
That's who's in charge. The Bible says in Revelation 14:11, they shall be tormented in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You say, well, I believe hell is to be separated from God. It's a lie. I believe hell is eternal separation from God. It's a lie. Hell is a place where people are tormented in the presence of Jesus Christ. It's in the Bible. He said that we tormented in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And so, the devil's not running the show in hell. Jesus Christ is running the show in hell. He's the one who created hell. It's fulfilling His will and His purpose, not that of the devil. And so, there's falling. The man who just entered hell, let's say he just entered 10 seconds ago, the man that we're talking about. He's falling, he's burning, he's in darkness, he's scared to death. And he's waiting for the end. I mean, that wouldn't you? I mean, if you got into some kind of accident, you say, the only hope I have is that this is eventually going to end.
And I don't care what they think of me. Can you imagine the mum of a small child, 2, 3 years old, as this child walks toward an open fire that they've got in the land room. This child walks toward it and walking straight for it. There's no protection, there's no barriers, there's nothing stopping him. And the mum's sitting there thinking, well, how do I tell this kid without offending him? But that's you! That's me! But I don't want to upset him. Here's a good one. I don't want to turn him away from God. They're not with God now! Turn him away! You'll turn some for.